Hi friends, I recently introduced the tune The Rakes of Mallow. It's a great fun polka to play. And I'll add a card at the top so you can access the video where I introduced the tune, and I'll stick a link in the bottom too. And I'll put in the notes to this video a link so that you can access the music and tabs for this tune if you would like to use them. You know, sometimes after I introduce a tune, I'll play it for us. And sometimes when I introduce a tune, I would like to share one of my practice sessions with you. And that's what I'm doing with the Rakes of Mallow. So I introduced this a few days ago, and I've not touched the tune really since then. So, we'll see how this goes. I've not even reached the point of fully memorizing the tune yet. And I'll talk about this a little bit more soon. But my pattern in doing a tune is, and we've talked about this some, I learn the tune, I learn it as well as I can at a certain speed, and then I add in some ornamentation and expression. And then I try and pick up the speed. I go back to the core of the tune, and then I add in, once I'm doing that well, I add in some ornamentation and expression, and then I pick up the pace and do the core of the tune again. And as an Irish polka, the Rakes of Mallow is played at a reasonably quick pace. And that might be a hair fast, but I've measured it, and it's about 120 beats per minute that a lot of people play it. And so I'm kind of guessing around there in my practice. But remember, I said play it at the pace you can. One of the things I also like to do is play it a little. I'd like to reach the point where I can play it well faster than I really want to play it. And then when I dial it back to the speed at which I want to play it, I'm all the better with it. So anyway, what I want to do today is walk you through some of how I'm practicing. I'll throw some ornamentation and a little bit of expression in. I remember ornamentation are things like cuts, taps, some vibrato, slides, and expression is like, it's a polka, so I'm going to punch some of the notes. I'm going to try and make them a little bouncy and happy. Expression would be like if it was an emotional tune, I might add in some more depth in the way I'm playing. So, first thing I'm going to do this on some bits of it on my Howard Low D and my Wild Irish, some bits on my Wild Irish High D. So, first, on my Howard Low D, I'm just going to try and see if I'm going to dial it back, and I'm going to see how I'm doing on the core of the tune, and I'm going to try and add some at least expression, a little bit of ornamentation in, and then I'm going to go back and work on what I have to. So here is the Rakes of Mallow. First play in a while. You know, I want that to be a little punchier, I think. Okay, I like that. So what I'm doing is I'm just punching a little bit that second note to give it a bounce feel. And if you were with me when I introduced the tune, you knew that I was going to have a little bit of trouble there. I'll stop and it's that A, C natural. Try and get my fingers used to that. Okay. Oh, because I got to take those fingers off for the beat. Notice how I slowed that down. And also, notice you've got to feel free with rhythmic expressions. Strictly speaking, the B part goes. And I'm not feeling like that feels very dancey bouncy. So that's why I'm changing that up just a bit. Sorry. It's the same length of notes. It's just a little more fun to me. Remember, you can play around with this song. Nobody said you were married to playing it exactly the way it's written in like the setting I'm providing. You've been to the session website. You know that there are often 10 and more settings for each tune. We honor the composer when we make this our own. So I'm going to work on that again. I was not even comfortable exactly at that slower speed. Try this one more time a bit and do a couple other things on my Howard, and then I'll grab the Wild Irish and we'll make this a little shorter, but I'm giving you the sense of what I'm doing. Nope. There's a repeat. I'm going to run that, those two measures. Go slowly as you need to, and then build that. All right, that's just a sense of where I'm going and how I'm doing this. And I will work that and work that and work that until I can play it well and pick up the speed. Try a little on my Wild Irish. And notice there are some differences, and I think you'll find this too. There are differences in how you're feeling a tune on a low instrument than on a high instrument. That was a mistake on that run, but it didn't sound as bad. Oh, come on. All right, I'm getting that a little better. I think it's time now. I still haven't nailed the timing, so I'm going to run that a couple more times. And I'm going to start trying to throw in a few other ornaments to try and get a little more comfortable with that. Because there's some other things I want to do with the tune. But anyway, I think that's enough subjecting you to my practice. So what I'm doing is trying to feel it on the high instrument and feel it on the low. And if it feels a little differently on each, play it differently on each, but run it at a pace you can. You'll notice that I hurried some sections. You know that I can't play as fast as I can play So I'll play the first bit at the pace I want, and then I'll have to dial it back when I get to, and I'll experiment with different ornaments on the drop downs or the step ups, just to see which I like the sound of better, what feels a little more dancey. So try that for yourself. And I know I say play it at the pace you can. And what that means for me is I can play some of it at my target pace, and some of it I can't. So I'll dial it back where I can, hoping that catches up, so that pretty soon I can play the whole thing at that pace. Anyway, you run it as you're doing, but please realize it takes every one of us time, effort, and practice to reach the point where in a specific tune you're able to play it just like you want. Until next time, my friends, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling.